Hey everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. This is Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good on this Tuesday, the 20th of January. We were talking about, for the past week or so, about the 23rd, and a few days after that, we have two systems we were tracking, and both of those are on there, and now getting a lot more attention. Now the models have been adjusting themselves somewhat, so we're going to talk about that. But first, as always the case, we'll talk about the stats that we stand at, and well, not great news. The snow drought continues. 4.8 is where we should be. Look at last year at this time. 8.6 inches of snow. We missed that milestone of our first winter storm. Normally we hit that on the 19th. We missed that yesterday. That is the only one, though, that we did miss. On the board tonight, well, we've got the Friday night and Saturday system. We've got a full Twix bar. And Sunday night into Monday, a full Twix bar. And that one may be increased later, the way it's looking. And then Groundhog Day, we have a half Twix bar, and there's other systems showing up beyond that, but this is as far as we're going to go for this edition of Snow Talk. First off today, beautiful. It's 57 degrees, like the third day that we've had now with temperatures in the upper 50s. It's nice outside. We've got some high thin clouds, but nothing really blocking out a lot of the sun. So I hope you're enjoying it. You can see 61 right now in Nashville, 56 in Paducah. We do have a system moving our way that is going to dry out as it heads eastbound. Could give us a few sprinkles, though, as it moves into our direction. This is the one we're watching, though, as we head into the upcoming weekend, or Friday night and Saturday. It's going to be a southern tracker, as always the case. The issue was whether or not we would get any type of phasing to be able to pull the low pressure more northbound, or would it stay suppressed, and that remains the debate. Let's cover the rain chance, though, tonight. Again, very spotty showers passing through. Not a lot of moisture here to talk about as we into tonight into Wednesday. Wednesday, it looks mild, but not probably as nice as today, obviously. But I do think we have a chance to at least get back into the 50s once again before things to change. So let's get right into the weekend system. The new data coming in now. Here's the low pressure. This is the GFS. This is the Euro, and this is the Canadian. All have the low pressure, about the same spot, really, around the Florida Panhandle. And the issue on the northern side of this, there's a lot of warm air surrounding this low pressure. It's not a very cold system, but it's trying to draw in just enough cold air to get that rain-snow line right along the Ohio River. Shocker on that one. The ensembles here at the bottom of the same models, very similar overall. The Canadian ensemble doesn't have as much of a reflection, but this is also an older run. So I do expect that to get updated later. Now that the new run of the operational just came in. But overall, you can see the debate here. It's going to track to the south. And whether or not we get the precip shield to go into Kentucky is a big question. Chances are increasing for that to happen. And then once that happens, it's going to be just marginally cold enough to get snow, which is usually a wet snow scenario. And sometimes you can get some good wet snows out of these kind of systems. So it is worth watching by all means. Yes. Does it mean everybody will get snow? Probably not. I do think there is going to be a mix or all rain involved. I know y'all hate to hear that, but I do think that's the scenario we're dealing with. Here's the 700 millibar in the GFS. We look at this a lot to really gauge the moisture the system has, and it's got a good moisture field over Kentucky. Not so much in Indiana, but again, if the track takes it even more to the north, that will change for Indiana, but this is how it stands today. Big debate is how much of a pull northward we will go. The Straff model, just now I was able to see it. It's hard to read this, I know. But it is a combination of many different models that give opinions. And a lot of them are right here at the bottom to give you maybe a half inch out of this, of wet snow. There's one member, though, that skyrockets to several inches of snow. But it's all by itself, as you can see there. Everything else is down at the bottom, and this one guy's like, yay! I know you love that, looking at that, snow lovers. But Shriver's not able to see it, so we'll see how that plays out. The NAM is just now able to see it as well. It's hard to trust the NAM in the very end model runs, but you can see the problem here. Temperature is very marginal during the overnight hours of Friday night and Saturday, very close to the freezing mark. And you get a mixed scenario down here across the southern counties. So this is a good snow if you want it to stick to trees, you want it to keep the roads mainly wet and accumulate on grass and be a very pretty snow. This is the kind of scenario you can get. So this is really the type of snow I think I love personally, and I think a lot of us do, because it really lessens the impact on travel. But we'll watch it. Still just early in the game here, but the models have really got to sample the system. You saw where it was. It's still off the California coast, so until it really gets into our network, we're going to see better agreement, and that won't happen until sometime Wednesday or early Thursday. The European NAO, which would help pull that low pressure more northbound, is forecast to be in the negative territory at that time, so that would favor a low pressure going up the East Coast versus being suppressed out to sea. After it goes by, then we got our Clipper that comes down. This is the GFS, dives it right over Kentucky, and it's a colder system too. This is all snow. The Canadian just came in, is further to the north, and then Ural just came in and is very similar, and in fact a little more robust for us as we head into Sunday night and Monday. So we only get a brief break between systems before we have another chance for snowfall. In fact, when I looked at the Buffkit for the GFS, you read this, by the way, backwards. Here's now, and you read it to the left to go further in time. And the Buffkit sounding has given us about a couple inches of snow, if you see the number there, out of the system for Sunday night into Monday. So an advisory level snow potential Sunday night and Monday there. And then we see the cold air behind that Clippers. We get into early next week, gets on the cold side, and then we get ready for the really cold air to really start making its presence known by the end of the month. And that will set the stage then for, I think, the Groundhog Day system that will come into play, but too far out to get more specific than that. All right, guys, that's all I've got time for here today, but we'll keep an eye on this Friday night and Saturday event. At least it's happening on a weekend, and hopefully not a lot of people will be on the roadways. Could be a pretty snow for some of us. Could get a nice little wet snow, sticks to the trees. And then that Sunday night and Monday one, I think, is going to be more of a headache for us when it comes to travel because it'll hit at a time when it could impact the Monday morning commute if it holds together as it does now. So, all right, there you go. Enjoy the nice weather because things are about to change. We'll see you today beginning at 5.